Welcome, my name is Judy and I'm your librarian for this class, and what I would like to do for you today is to show you very simply how to get your paper into MLA format. We're going to change the font to Times New Roman 12-point font. It's 12 point Times New Roman. Do not bold it, don't make it bigger, none of the fancy stuff. That's not going to be MLA format, so plain Times New Roman. Under your paragraph, which is right here, you're going to click the arrow and you're going to change it to double spacing. MLA is double spacing, not multiple spacing, which gives you a variety of spacing throughout your paper, and it would immediately indicate that it's not in MLA format. We're ready to begin entering our information. My name, so it's going to be the student's name. My name is Judy Howell, so I put my name here. Dr. David Profit is the professor for this particular class. The class is Philosophy 100. Today's date is 7th March 2017. I hit my enter button one time and then I'm going to click the center button, which is right here in paragraph again. This is the title for philosophy paper. Hit your enter one more time, and then you're going to go right here. This is your align left button. So you're going to click it. What that will do is take you all the way back over to the left margin, and then you're going to hit your tab button one time. Do not hit the space bar 5 times and expect to be in the same place every single time. It will not be. Use the tab button. Begin your paper here. Remember that in this philosophy paper, your paper has to be several pages long. So you will begin typing your paper here. Of course, you're going to do the traditional introduction. Once you do the introduction, you'll begin on your body. In the body of your paper, you will be referring to different works that you have read in this unit of your class. In order to give credit to these sources, because remember, your paper has to be 6 to 8 pages, and you have to, I believe, refer to about 70% of the works that you have read in this unit. So you're going to have a lot of sites in here. I know that most of these sites are going to come from your reading of your textbook. Your textbook is an anthology, and I will show you how to do a correct works cited entry for an anthology, for each of the works in an anthology, for your works cited page. And hopefully that will really help you. But in the body of your paper, you are going to, every single time that you use something from somebody, say you do a direct quote, and this is from David Hume. So you have a quote, at the end of it you would put Hume, the page number, I'm making up a page number, and that's the way it would look. Your direct quote would be here. Always introduce your direct quote, don't just throw it out there. Introduce it, say why it is important that you use it in a direct quote. That means word for word. Give your author, give your page number, and then your period would go after that, or any other punctuation that you would have would go after you give credit with the in-text or parenthetical citation. Also remember this, if you paraphrase or summarize something, if you take an idea from somebody, you still have to refer to them. So you would always put your author in the page number. When you are all finished with your paper, when you have your 6 to 8 pages, and remember 6 to 8 pages in proper format. Once you have finished, you're going to do your conclusion. Remember, the concluding section of your paper should be a summary of the ideas that you have presented. And I'm sure you're looking here and you're thinking, well, there's something missing here. Well, there are. It's the page numbers. So you're going to go right up here, double click. This is your header. You're going to go in there. When you double click on it, it will bring it up for you. you'll go in there, insert your page number, top of the page, all the way over to the right. Then you have to put your last name. You will notice immediately it defaults back to Calibri. So we go back to Home, change it to Times New Roman, 12-point font. Now, every single page of your paper will have your last name on it and the page number. That does include the first page. And that way you will make sure that the professor knows exactly whose paper it is, and of course its proper MLA format. So once you have completed your conclusion and you've summed up your paper and made your final argument, you're going to insert a page break. A lot of students ask me, why do you have us do this step? I have you do this step because if you don't, and you go back in and you edit your papers, and a 6 to 8 page paper is going to be edited multiple times. Every time you change something, it'll move around on you, and you end up having to move it back to a separate page. Because remember, your works cited page must be on a separate page. So if you don't put the page break in there, it's not going to end up right. So for just a second, I'm going to pause you, and I am going to go over to EasyBib and get logged in. First thing you're going to do is get logged in. You can log in over here. If you do not have an ID, you can create an ID for free, and you can use our coupon code, which is Big Sandy 104. So that is Big Sandy 104, no spaces. Once you do that, you can click New Project here. You can create a project for philosophy. Make sure you're in MLA, and then click your Create button. I've already created one, so I'm not going to go back and do that again. Here is mine. Once you create your project, it will appear here at the top of your list, and you can hit Bibliography. Once you click Bibliography, you get a page that looks like this. You're going to click all 59 options, and since your book is an anthology, you're going to click here. This will give you a blank form, see, to fill out. What I have done is typed in your ISBN number here. I haven't done this, so I'm not quite sure what we're going to find. And we're going to click. What it is telling us is that there's 2 different versions, and we're going to click and see what it brings up for us. Because we know we have the 10th edition, and this is correct in that it has Oxford University Press, has the city, has the year. The only thing we have to add to this part of it is going to be 10th edition. We have to correct for MLA our capitalization here. Remember, this is a computer program, and it's not perfect. The other part I will point out is that the 2 people listed here are not authors. They're actually editors, so we need to change them to source editors. The important part here is that when you're dealing with an individual author, so you can put in the allegory of the cave, and this is going to be by Plato. So this is going to be more like an essay, poem, short story, that type of thing. If it is a complete work, like a novel or an epic, something like that, you would change this to novel. We need to add another contributor, and it is going to be our section author, and it is going to be Plato. Okay? And I had to make up page numbers for this only because I don't have a physical copy of the book. So I'm going to put page 30 to 33. And if your pages of this particular item were not consecutive, then you would click here for pages not consecutive. Okay? And you create citation. Now, here's what happens. When you are citing from a book that is an anthology, meaning there are lots of different works, and your textbook is one of those, it has lots of different works in it by lots of different people, then you have to do a citation for each of the different works. So when it comes time, and maybe I need to do one for a different work, I would go right back up here before, just like I did before, all 59 options, because I'm already in my assignment, chapter anthology. I would put in my ISBN again, pull this up, make sure I change this to section or to source editor, and this one to source editor because there's 2 editors listed here. I go back in, I put in my 10 for 10th edition, and I still have to recorrect, I should say, my capitalization for this citation. Then I can put in the next item that I want to cite. So it might be the watchmaker. Oops, I better capitalize properly. The watch and the watchmaker. I have to add my contributor. It's going to be my section author, and it's going to be William Haley. I think I said that right, but I wouldn't swear to it. So now that I have all of my information, I have to put, again, those page numbers in there. So that's going to be, for this one, I'm going to use page 50 to maybe 60, because I'm not sure how long this is. Again, if this were a novel or a complete work, maybe like the Iliad or something like that, I would put it here. But since this is going to be covered under a chapter, essay, poem, or short story, I leave it right where it is. And I do create citation. As you can see, now I have 2 citations. They are in alphabetical order. But this does not cover me completely on that MLA format. All the information's in the correct place. See? I've got my author. I've got the name of the work that I'm talking about, the book, the title of the book, and then the editors of the book. And then I have my 10th edition, the place it was published, Oxford UP, which is the publisher, the date, and the page numbers, and that it was in print. So all this information is correct. What I need to do is to export this into Word. Click your export button, click print as a Word document, download for MS Word. What that's going to do, and it's going to pull it up off screen, so you won't be able to see the whole thing until I move it over. So here I am. I moved it over. This is what comes up. Then you have to do enable editing. What I do here is I copy this, and then I paste it into my actual paper. And as you see, here's my conclusion. My page break took me down to this page, and now I can just paste that in there. And here is my works cited page. There is one thing on EasyBib I wanted to show you. If you have a question about what should be my parenthetical or in-text citation, if you go to EasyBib, you enter your information properly, and you click parenthetical, it will tell you what it should be. And as you can see, it's the author's last name and the page number which you got your information. So if you know this was from page 51, you would change this to page 51. And that would allow you to put your parenthetical or in-text citation in your paper correctly. And you want to always make sure that you do that. If you do not, you can end up having some issues. This is going to be on the library homepage. So if you go to Big Sandy and you click Academics, then Library, and then Tutoring, this will take you to our Academic Center for Excellence. This is the ACE, and you say, what does this have to do with anything, and why does she randomly put it in this video? This isn't random at all. What we do in the ACE Center is that we are there to support our students and to help them in any way possible. We will help you edit your paper. So when you get the 6 to 8 page paper done, take it to the ACE. There's one on all 3 campuses. The hours will vary, so make sure you call the numbers here. Okay? Make sure you call those numbers. Ask to speak to the person who edits papers, because there's different names on each of the campuses, and I'm going to post that in your class so you'll have that information. But make sure You bring your paper in, get it as good as you can get it, and then let someone help you with it. Let someone help you edit and make sure that you're in MLA format. Okay? If you are not on one of our campuses and you are a student who is at a distance and you can't make it to campus, still call these numbers. Call during the day because that's the hours that we work in the ACE Center. Call during the day, speak with somebody, and what we usually do is email back and forth, like you email your paper, then comments are emailed back to you, you make changes, and then you can email it back again after you've made those changes just to make sure that it looks pretty good. So if you have any questions or you need anything, please let us know. And you can let us know by going to the home page, clicking Academics, Library, and if you have a question for a librarian right here, click it. You can ask us questions and we can answer it. If you need help with tutoring or academic assistance, which is going to be the editing of papers, which is really important, you go here and you can call the folks. I keep clicking on that. Call the folks right here and we will be glad to help you. If you have any questions, let me know.